one last Grand Cup finale for year 2025 has brought us up north to the Peter Mokaba Stadium, where throughout the course of the afternoon into evening we decide who the calling knockout champions for 2025 are going to be. What started with 16 teams was whittled down to 8, and then from 8 a quartet of teams had a 1 in 4 chance of winning it all. And then there were only 2. It will either be Orlando Pirates or Marumo Gallants crowned champions of South Africa's League Cup this evening. A very good afternoon to all of you, wherever you're watching from across South African football. It is December, so it's time for celebration, and one of these 2 sides will be doing plenty of that come the end of today's proceedings. But I'm not alone. Let me introduce you to a wonderful team we've compiled for you. Great experts whose conversation is going to be carrying exactly what we're bringing to you over the next hour and a half. Alongside me, I do have Simphiwe Dludlu as well as Stanton Fredericks. They are going to be complemented by Phumudzo Manenze, who's standing by alongside Tato Mueng. This is the team that for the next hour and a half is going to be walking you through exactly what we can expect as we explore the possibilities and probabilities as these 2 sides, one of them not like the other when it comes to cup finals in South African football, have a go for each other for the right to be called over the next year calling knockout champions. Stiga, Simphiwe, thank you so much for your time. I've just mentioned that one of these 2 sides is not like the other, and that's just one of the many storylines that we can touch on ahead of kickoff.
Absolutely. Good afternoon. Soon it's going to be an evening in Limpopo. And this is an encounter that is always giving us goals. Yeah. This is an encounter that is always saying to us, come to the stadium, come watch. Whether you're at home watching us or you're at the stadium, it is never short of goals. You know, so that's what we're excited about. And we know that Orlando Pirates struggles a bit against Minos in cup finals. But yeah, cup pedigree, so
they've got cup pedigree and plenty of it. And that maybe is the reason why there are so many fans who are, which is really not a surprise anymore, have sold out this particular venue following around Orlando Pirates. It really does seem and feel as if it's a good time to be associated with the Ghost.
What an occasion, and a new dawn for Orlando Pirates, which started 3 years ago with Jose Ribeiro. Today, Coach Owadu has taken over, and it's a little bit special because Marumo Gallants introduced Owadu to South African football. Today he comes up in the second final. So just so many dynamics. But you spoke about the differences of the 2 sides. In this cup match, in the cup competition rather, Pirates dominated possession in all 3 games. Marumo Gallants had less possession in all 3 games. So there you have it. One is going to sit back, one is going to attack.
It is either a coincidence or it's by design that in this competition, it's now a 2nd year running, that we are getting a heavy favorite up against a not so favored team. We know exactly what happened when Makesi made Mamelodi Sundowns last time out. Something for Orlando Pirates to keep an eye out for.
Absolutely. This is a team that has beaten them in the start of the season, a 2-1 win. And we know with the turnover between these 2 teams, they once beat them 8-1, and then Marumo Gallants came back and said, no, you can't do that to us again, you know, in the second leg. And it was Coach Wadu actually that beat Orlando Pirates. So you are looking at this team and you are saying to yourself, are they going to come out and being naive and say we're going to come out pound to pound, or are they going to be strategic about things the same way they beat Sundowns, the same way they went on to play against Golden Arrows and where they are right now? This is a team that is able to score goals when they need to. Stiga speaks about them not being able to have ball possession, but they take care of the important stuff, which is winning the matches. So we are destined to have a match that has goals, a match that is pound to pound in a sense of areas where anyone can dominate. It's going to be interesting.
As we're having a look at this wonderful venue out in Polokwane, a cathedral of football this far north in the country, not only yourself but Coach Ruvi as well has mentioned Abdeslam Wadu.
A bit of a shaky start, I must say. The opening match of the MTN8 game, we've seen a different Orlando Pirates, but it was an Orlando Pirates that made plenty changes to guys that have produced, the likes of Mabasa, the likes of Mahopa, Radiopane given a chance. He then wobbled in the first 2 matches. One was against this very Marumo Gallants. And since then, he's showed his hand on the side. The ball moves much quicker. It's a coach that I look at it from afar, and if, as a player, I want to play for him. He's the coach that's going to put the hand around the player, and you can see that by the performances. It's been consistent, it's been entertaining, and most importantly, he's on the winning side.
Is indeed on the winning side. We've seen not only in terms of performances in the league, Orlando Pirates top of the standings going into Christmas for only a second time in the PSL history. They've already won a cup title. They're trying to win yet another one, but of course it is Marumo Gallants who are standing in their way, and as the two here have mentioned, have done the standing in the way job in quite some aplomb down the years.
So much cup success over the last few seasons, but not in this particular tournament.
These games will be won in small details. It confirmed the personality, the character of Orlando Pirates.
Marumo FC, the holders of this trophy. Now, Pirates again. Oh my goodness! Nice pass here to Marumo. It ends in victory for the home side, the Buccaneers.
Richards Bay has a heavy day ahead of them, trying to contain Orlando Pirates.
Well, he's absolutely spoiled for choices, Coach Wadu. Ball forward here for Moremi. Sits up brilliantly for Moremi, buries it. Orlando Pirates are through to the final of the Carling knockouts.
Marumo Gallants have yet to beat Mamelodi Sundowns in any competition. That's it, the final whistle then. Marumo Gallants have done it!
Marumo Gallants into the semi-finals.
Just giving him the last instructions of some of the demands of the player start.
Runs it, buries it! Gallants are into the final. They will face Orlando Pirates in the Carling knockout showpiece.
It is yet again the Buccaneers who are trying to engineer yet another cup title in South African football. We have a bit more than an hour and 20 minutes before we get things underway here at the new Peter Mokaba Stadium. And the one thing that's different from when we just saw you a couple of minutes ago is that we are now draped in wonderful late afternoon sunshine, and we certainly hope that the football is going to be matching the absolutely wonderful pitch side conditions here. Now, we've spoken about Orlando Pirates, but the one thing we have to remind you, as we did touch on, that Makesi last season, they started this competition by beating Orlando Pirates before ending it with a victory against Mamelodi Sundowns. For Marumo Gallants, they started by beating Mamelodi Sundowns. They're looking to end it by getting the better of Orlando Pirates. Again, parallels that we can draw between these two sides, from players to coach and to ambition.
Yes, and as we can see just behind us here, Marumo Gallants walking out, soaking up the atmosphere, and you just got to feel special for the minnows. It's very much a David versus Goliath, and so much quality, so much tactical nuances that's going to come to the fore. But very important is it's always a factor when you're coming up against your former side. And we're looking at the likes of Otladisa as well as Mhlongo.
Absolutely, and I mean, if you look at Coach Wadu, he's a coach that is able to say, let's go out and play however long it takes us. However, we look at Orlando Pirates, how they got into the final. They haven't been tested to get to an extra time, even to penalties. They've just come in, take care of business, and that's what we are talking about. And different goal scorers have come in. Lemi has scored. Also, we've seen Apollos create. We've seen Mutuma. We've seen also Mahoba being able to come in and do magic when it comes to how Orlando Pirates want to feature in this tournament. And I love the fact that Pirates has never taken anything to chance. They knocked out the defending champions with so much style, and probably one of the best goals, same thing that they did against Siwelele. They didn't take anything for chance, even if they scored a late goal, but you could see they wanted it. It's because of winning is a habit, and sometimes they say so is losing, but Pirates is taking the latter. They're saying winning is a habit, and you see with the performances that they bring. Even today, they're up against the Minnows, but they're not going to leave anything for chance.
I'm glad that Coach Simpio has mentioned Minnows, because in this competition, if you go back to about 7 years ago, Orlando Pirates came up against Baroka, and it was pretty much the very same storyline, wasn't it? Where you say, Orlando Pirates, you are heavily favored to win. Baroka, though, had read a different script.
You mentioned it, Loazi. I think they'll take a script out of last year's final, Magesi against Sundowns, and they're going to obviously come into this with a different mindset. They definitely have the capabilities to do so, and we can see this is part of the action on the road to it. Penalties. Yeah, this was a real. I don't think anybody that was a betting person would have bet on Baroka, but that's what football is, and that's what cup finals can dish up today. And I'm sure Orlando Pirates will be very much aware of that.
Okay, there certainly will be. Let's remind you exactly why then that Orlando Pirates are the heavy favorites for this one. They have a record when it comes to cup competitions, particularly in recent times, that is the envy of many football clubs in South Africa's top flight.
Absolutely. The Nedbank Cup, look what they've done. You look at the MTN 8s, look at what they've done. The MTN 8 in the last 4 back-to-back, they just went on. And they were not just playing easy teams. They were beating Mamelodi Sundowns. They were beating big teams when it comes to that. And now with the culling knockout, it will be a moment where they'll take it back to 2011 when they got the treble, to say, we did it then, why can we not do it now, you know? Because that's another cup that is missing in their cabinet, and they definitely want to show up and say, we've beaten all the big teams, we've beaten other small teams, can we come in also and show up that with the cup pedigree, this is what it means. Steve, I'm sure when you were playing for either teams, cups were the story of the day.
It's what you get judged on as a player. Yeah, and talking about stats, Orlando Pirates does not want this game to go to penalties, because the history is in 12 games, they've only won 3 times. So they will want to do it in 90 minutes or extra time. Take nothing away from Gallants. We're speaking about the David in the story.
And again, for a bit more context as far as what Stiga is talking about, while Orlando Pirates, yes, have struggled when it comes to penalties in this competition, Marumo Gallants in cup competitions in South African football, they played 4 penalty shootouts. They've won all 4. And so, Tato Moeng, based on all that both Stiga and Simpio have mentioned, what are the prospects of Marumo Gallants?
Well, Lwazi, as you and Stiga and Simpio are chatting, I am here with the bold and the beautiful Pumujo Manenze. And you do look at us and you think David versus Goliath, the unpredictability when it comes to cup competitions. But that's what makes it so good. That's why I say, Fagukesi. But then when it comes to Marumo Gallants, they know how to fight. They know how to go into a final, Pumujo. We boldly remember TTM, Takuma Tamatibandila, when they went to that Nedbank Cup final out in Free State. All the chips seemed down for them, but they managed to win that one against Chipa United. So TTM now changed to Marumo Gallants, then go through to another Nedbank Cup final with Sundowns. But that's why cup competitions and cup finals, it's all about the unpredictability. And that's why we're here today. You can't predict what's going to happen today, Pumuto.
You definitely can't predict because you're looking at some of the players that you're seeing on the fields of play. That's in Mhlongo when you are still at TTM. He scored a goal in a very important game, which is the final. For me, what is important is big match temperament, BMT. The likes of Mhlongo, he has that BMT. Because when you look at what he has done at TTM, what he has done at Orlando Pirates has been amazing when it comes to BMT moments. And not only him, the likes of Arubi, they were part of that TTM team. So when I look at this Marumo Gallants team, there is a little bit of experience when it comes to cup finals. When you look at Mpambaniso, you look at Ndondo, you look at the likes of Washington Arubi.
Now, we mentioned, of course, Washington Arubi, Ndondo, when it comes to that Nedbank Cup final at TTM. When they went through to Sundowns, it was the very same Ndondo who was very key. And you also do have the likes of Arubi, who are very key. Unfortunate, it was a late goal from Sundowns that made sure they lost that final. But those kinds of players will be so important today for Alexandre Lafette, especially knowing that they know how to play a final.
They definitely know how to play a final, and the experience of some of those players that have been at bigger clubs, the experience of players that have taken TTM to the final becomes very important. But in today's game, when I look at the current squad and the type of experience that they have, it is something to marvel at, because when you look at the likes of Utadisa,
yes,
when you look at the likes of Mpambaniso, they've been long at TTM, now Marumo Gallants, so their experience is going to be very key in terms of playing this cup final today.
Experience is important, especially when you look at the road to the Carling knockout final, especially for Marumo Gallants. The Marumo Gallants, who have disposed of a Mamelodi Sundowns, who have disposed of a Stellies, and just of late disposed of a very, very strong Mangobangiti's Golden Arrows. But this is why people have traveled from across the country, from Bloemfontein, from Gauteng, from Durban, to see what's going to happen today between Orlando Pirates and, of course, Marumo Gallants. But Lwazi, that is the unpredictability of cup finals, and that's why we're here. We don't know what's going to happen, but I think yesterday we saw that deja vu sometimes does come through.
Deja vu indeed sometimes does come through. Thank you very much for that, Tato Moeng. And she's speaking about deja vu because we did see yesterday the FIFA World Cup draw play itself out over in Washington, D.C. And we're talking about South Africa because they're back at the FIFA World Cup for the very first time since 2010. Drawn in Group A, Stanton Fredericks, and that deja vu that Tato was speaking about. Mexico, South Africa, opening game, June the 11th.
And speaking of deja vu, Tato and Pomutsa look like Heidi Klum and Kevin Hart.
Who's Kevin Hart? Who's Heidi Klum?
Let's look at the stars, man. Having said that, no, it's just awesome, Lwazi. And you mentioned it last night in studio that on the same date, 11th of June, Mexico will be the home side and Bafana up against them. And I'm sure the players that were watching the draw last night were looking at Teku in studio and saying, it's our time now.
That is Mexico, that is Korea Republic, that's South Korea, as could very well be the likes of Denmark in South Africa's group.
Look, we're up against teams that are ranked in the top 30. I mean, Mexico is 15th, South Korea is 22nd, and we are 61. But sometimes the rankings don't really end up share. Mexico has never beaten us in World Cup matches, 2010 and 2005 also, 6 actually. So that just shows us we can go out there and compete. And for the first time in a long time, we have a Bafana side that we look at and like, Nkota can go in and score the first goal like Shaba did against Mexico. Why not? You know? So it's really exciting to be there, seeing South Africa being part of the draw. You know, SAFA delegates were there, and I can just see the boys are itching to be able to go to the World Cup and showcase what they will continue doing in the upcoming AFCON, up to the World Cup and beyond.
Yeah, of course, before we even talk about the FIFA World Cup in 2026, there is the Africa Cup of Nations out in Morocco, where it is the Cote d'Ivoire that are going to be trying to defend their title, but the likes of Morocco, the likes of South Africa even as well, are going to be making it extremely hard for the Elephants to hold on to what is theirs. A short break. On the other side of it, our conversation continues as we get closer to kick-off here at the new Peter Mokaba Stadium. Orlando Pirates, Marumo Gallants, one of these will be champions.
the 2025 Nedbank Golf Challenge, live on SuperSport.
I can't believe this.
This could be critical.
When I got told that everyone has pitted except for me, Lando and Ocon, I knew we were in trouble.
Oscar is looking to chase you down.
We shouldn't have done what we did, so simple as that.
The Verstappen Championship charge shows no sign of relenting.
I don't think about losing, I think about how to win.
The 2025 Formula One season on your World of Champions. Proudly brought to you by Discovery.
And here we go. Are you ready for more? Locked and loaded. I don't want this to ever end. What a treat.
Welcome back to the new Peter Mokaba Stadium. We're having a look at exactly what it has happened. We are having a look at exactly how it is that Orlando Pirates have gotten themselves to this stage. 1-0 win over Siwelele. That was followed by a 2-1 victory against Magesi. And then in the semi-finals, 1-0 over Richards Bay as well. If you were to draw a line between those results and performances, where would you start?
I would start right at the beginning with Siwelele, because we saw Mokaba miss a penalty in that match, and Bogazi came in the last minute, 87th minute, where he had to get an equalizer. And when you move to the defending champions, it's always, ooh, they beat us in the beginning, you know. So now we're up against them in a match that is important as well. And Pirates showed up, you know. So I look at that. Muremi scored one of the best goals when it comes to that. And actually, if I step back to Mbogazi scoring that goal, Chicago Fire right now is talking about that goal.
That could very well be the goal that got him signed.
Absolutely.
We've seen actually on their social media when they've introduced him, that was the goal.
Yeah.
But coming back to the goal and the importance of it, it showed evidence of how Orlando Pirates has adapted this season under Coach Uwadu, how they become patient when there is a low block. And I think that game is 100% evidence of how patient Pirates can be when they need to break down their defense. It came from a defender, that man in your picture, and it comes from all over the field as well.
Yeah, you talk about defense, a single goal that they've conceded at this stage of the competition have Orlando Pirates 2 clean sheets. And I'm glad you, again, touch on Coach Uwadu, because driving up here, we had a wonderful conversation with the one and only Tigo Morise, and he made a wonderful point. He says it's very difficult for a coach to be entrusted with improving a team that is already good. It seems as if Uwadu has done a fantastic job at that.
It speaks to the quality of the coach. And I think Pirates looked at him and said, this is the coach that beat us, you know, after losing 8-1 to Pirates. He came and beat Orlando Pirates 2-1. And it's not every team that comes and beats Pirates hands down. These young men are the players that knew how Coach Jose wanted them to work and play. I mean, he gave Mbogazi a chance in March, and this has been a fantastic year for Mbogazi. And some of the young players also have gotten into Bafana Bafana, and Coach Uwadu had to take over that and improve those players to sustain the ability for them to play in the national teams. And when he started, it was doubtful with the 2 games, and it was like, let's see the next game, is he going to be able to stay there? But he has showed tactical prowess, he has showed tactical acumen and technical acumen as well. And I'm saying technical acumen because of the individual players that we are seeing, their technical abilities come through and it shines. Where did you see Muremi hit such goals? Mbogazi such goals?
And I was going to add on that, because Coach, you can appreciate this. When you see players improve, that is coaching. And we've seen that. Yeah. We've seen a Moremi step up. We've seen an Mbokazi not be afraid to come in and have that shot, you know. And that takes the coach and the technical team, not only Wadu. Yeah. It is an entire technical team that has given the confidence to the players. And just look at that poetry in motion. And the attack and the threat from Orlando Pirates comes from all over. Comes from the flanks, comes from centrally. You have a Mahopa that's growing and understanding that he doesn't need to be all over the pitch now. Yeah, this is what Wadu's footprint is on this Orlando Pirates side.
No coincidence then, as it were, that Orlando Pirates have contributed 9 players to the Bafana Bafana that's going to the Africa Cup of Nations.
Absolutely, there's a paradigm shift, and you see it with how they perform in the league. We are only counting few matches, 5 matches that they've done. I'm counting since 12 August when Pirates lost a match. Domestic football, I'm not counting CAF Champions League, just domestic football. That shows you of the consistency that is there. They mean business, and now it's going to be even more where they are focused on their players, on the cups that are in South Africa and the league, and being able to produce as much quality players to go into the national team. We take it to Spain in 2010, Madrid and Barcelona. Those are the 2 teams that contributed mostly to the national team, and they did well. Sundowns did that for us in the previous AFCON, and now it's Pirates that is contributing to the upcoming AFCON. It's really interesting and beautiful to see these quality players come through.
You know what I'm picking up from this conversation is that, and we got to give kudos to South African teams. We are now wanting to compete on the continent, and that in turn gives you a good national team. This very Marumo Gallants find themselves in the final, but they were competing in the Confederations Cup. We have Stellenbosch, we now have Kaizer Chiefs, we have Orlando Pirates, yes, they bowed out, as well as Sundowns. So this is where South African teams are going to, and you just got to love it.
Yeah, it certainly is, isn't it? Wonderful to see. And as we've mentioned a number of times already, the last time that Orlando Pirates domestically suffered defeat, it was against Marumo Gallants in the league. Since then, they've gone on an absolute tear, and they look like a side that is ready to lift the Carling knockout title as well. So then we continue to have this conversation, because on the other side of the pitch is yet another side that's going to be testing this Orlando Pirates side. If you have a look at how it is that they got past Richards Bay, another one of those players, you've touched on him, but perhaps it is worth having an extended conversation about him. Another one of those young players that Coach Wadu has improved in Tsepang Moremi. He looks capable, he looks dangerous with assists and goals, and of course, he's won seemingly the heart of Hugo Bruce in the national team lineup.
Absolutely, and before even talking about the Carling knockout, in the MTN 8, he was one of the top scorers. You know, whether he starts on the bench or he starts with the game, he shows quality. Apollos, we saw a glimpse of him at Polokwane City, and he comes through into Orlando Pirates. He fits in like a glove. We don't even see that you are missing Nkota. When Relay is not there able to play, you see players stepping up. Abondaba, they are coming through, and he started 3 of the games here. He's put Hoto on the bench, showing up. Siema, somebody's saying, but Mbokazi is leaving, Pirates is going to be leaking at the back. Excuse me, they have one of the best defense, because all round they have quality.
As we see those pictures, it shows you the quality and the depth, and we don't even know who's going to start today. Will Mbule start? Will Moremi start? We're not sure, but whoever starts, the quality is not compromised.
Okay, so then maybe it's worth having this conversation and asking this question. What has changed then since those 2 defeats? And I bring this up because if that MTN 8 title was won in many ways to justify why he was brought to the football club, a few months later he's in another final, and it seems as if the feeling and the sentiment within this football club is totally different.
The squad rotation and the quality that he brings from the players. Hoto is not playing, Ndaba steps up. Van Rooyen is not playing, Shandu is not playing, Elibito steps up. The 4 centre-backs that are rotating, that we even forget there's Nda that's there. It means this is a coach that has studied this team. As the moment they scouted him and said to him, you're going to come and work for Orlando Pirates, he knows his players, he knows his teams, he knows the opposition that he's up against. And he once mentioned it to say it's so much pressure coming to a force that is Orlando Pirates, because it's an institution, it's not just a club. So you look at Wadu with the way that he's forward thinking. this is an international coach, player himself. He comes from Morocco. He's played in big tournaments, and you can even see him when he's demonstrating, when he's doing things, that he's so much of an inspiration to the players. It's a continuation from where Jose left. So it just shows you that this is a coach that hates conceding because they have the best defense, and even in the MTN 8s, they were doing so well. And in previous competitions, Pirates used to leak at the back, but right now he's improved those records.
You speak about defending,
and
when you speak Orlando Pirates, you speak about the attacking dynamics that they have. But defensively in this competition, Sipho Chain only faced 5 shots and had to make 3 saves. So that is evidence of the quality of the defense that your coach has just mentioned.
Okay, so what we are doing now is having a look and taking Orlando Pirates fans back to right at the beginning of the league. It seems like an absolute years and millenniums ago. But again, we have to have a look back and see, in exploring the differences between this Pirates side, what exactly has changed. That's what we're talking about.
Absolutely. What has changed is the intensity. Orlando Pirates, when you get to 60th, 70th minute, sometimes they concede, the intensity drops or it stays the same. But the intensity has gone up because of the bench, the depth that they have also, and the tactical changes and improvements. And I'm saying tactical improvements, they're able to move to 3 at the back, 4 at the back, and they're able to play with 3 strikers or 1 striker and bombard that midfield. We see Rile moving wide, coming in. It's so much excitement when you see them play. When you see Apollo is not starting, you worry, what is he going to do when he come on? You know, so it's all of those changes we think about.
We speak about the changes of Orlando Pirates, but Marumo Gallants, since the match that we just saw, there have been 5 changes to this side. And what they've done is they've strengthened. The results might not show it, but there's a lot of balance, there's a lot of experience that's come through. Otladisa's made a way into the starting lineup, and Mhlongo's found a new lease of life in a different position. So this is a Gallant side that are going to test, and they're going to have in the memory, we overcame this team. We're probably a better side coming into this game, so we're going to fancy our chances of taking something here.
Let's then speak about Marumo Gallants and exactly how it is that they've found themselves in this situation. The very first cup final since the 2022-23 season. That was a different competition altogether. But I've already mentioned, they started with a defeat of Mamelodi Sundowns via penalties. Then an absolutely, I guess, breakout performance in that quarterfinal that they played against Stellenbosch by 4 goals to 0. And then the semi-finals, heading back to penalties yet again. Please do excuse us. The absolute volume here has gone throughout the roof, and that is because Orlando Pirates and their team, they are now on the pitch starting their official warm-up. But yes, let's talk about Marumo Gallants then, and it seems as if Washington Arubi is central to their ambitions.
Not only Washington, the entire spine. We're speaking of Barnes that has come in, the player from Burkina Faso. We're speaking of Mhlongo up front as a striker. So that experience in the spine is definitely going to pay them good. They've got experience with the likes of Skosana alongside Nikoi, and I do think, yeah.
I don't know if the fans at home can hear that. That is what Marumo Gallants is going to face. I can't even hear you.
Yeah, so the spine is very experienced, so it's a side that has improved, not in results, but definitely in terms of confidence and the balance between the youngsters and the experience.
Okay, so then how do you strike the balance in that regard? If the results aren't showing, but the performances are there, how do you strike a balance?
You look at the opposition that you're coming up against. Are they speedy? Do they have the intensity? Do they have the endurance? When you speak to endurance, Marumo Gallants has it. They've been to 2 extra times. They've been to penalties, which means they have that. You can't falter them for that. Now, you speak about the tactical improvements that they need to bring. We've seen them play with 3 centre-backs. We've seen them play with 4 centre-backs. We've seen them play with wing-backs, which means they're able to adjust and adapt to every eventuality. I look at Coach Alexandra. He's only 28 years old. He's so exciting to see his team play. There's few teams in the league right now that play quality and interesting football, and Marumo Gallants is one of those teams. They are able to come back. They concede, they come back, and numerous times when they do that, they don't lose a match. You know, so that's the staying power that they have. And today they can show up and show off when it comes to that, where they win in small margins, but it means a lot to them in how they can sway and change their results.
That's the overriding sentiment, isn't it? Marumo Gallants can play.
They've earned their place in the final. They beat Stellenbosch 4-0, which is no easy feat. They've overcome the champions of the Betway Prem in Sundowns, albeit it be through penalties. That shows you they deserve a place in this finals, and they're not going to come here and just turn over. So it's going to need an Orlando Pirates to be at their best to get something from this.
Let's expand a bit more then on the role that has been assigned to Ndabayitetwa Mhlongo.
Well, it's exciting. He doesn't have to fight with the defenders when that long ball comes, but is there to win the second ball pickup and be able to take shots, you know. I was worried when I saw him got stretchered off in 20 minutes odd against Makesi because he also got injured on the eye, but you see him, he's here. And midweek, he also got a car from Marumo Gallants to say, you've been doing well, you are consistent, and that is promoting him and showing him that they appreciate the work that he's brought in. He hasn't scored in the league, but he has scored 3 goals in the curling knockout, which means he's not an out-and-out striker, he's a false 9. Defenders are unable to track him. He's able to join and become the second 10, or even the third 10, because you find Stole, you find Pambaniso there, and when he drops, it becomes the 3 ministers there that are making it difficult for you. When it comes to set pieces, he's there. He takes a shot like he's wearing a size 9, but size 5, you know? It's a size 5. It's a size 5. I've seen it, you know? But that's how much he brings. And I love that the coach also does not put too much weight on him. He's able to take him off and bring in others.
You know what I take from that? And Mhlongo should be an example to others. When you leave a big side like Orlando Pirates, it's not easy as a player. So he's shown that he's dusted his disappointments off, and he's come back and he said, okay, I can be effective, it's not the end of the road. And it could rub off on the likes of Otladisa, and we've seen Otladisa now making a starting berth in this Marumo Gallants side, you know. So that is leading by example, and I'm just so happy for him, and I'm sure he'd want to have a say in today's result.
When we say that Marumo Gallants can play, we're having a look at those results that they've managed so far in the competition. They've scored 6 goals, Orlando Pirates have only scored 4.
Another thing with that 6 goals, 5 of those goals have come in second half. Speaks to the conditioning, speaks to the coach, how he's prepared his players as well. And I'm sure you can appreciate that, because South African football is played with a lot of transitions, and the level of your capacity in terms of fitness is so important. And if you want to find yourself in a final or competing in the top 8 or even winning the championship, that is definitely a massive factor in one side.
Absolutely. And I mean, when we pick up from Ndabayitetwa, he got a goal that got nominated from Chan, you know, in the CAF Awards. This is a man that is working well together with his team. And talking about a man that works well together with his team, Umbogazi is also going to be one that is going to be looking at Ndabayitetwa and say, and we are super. I have to make sure I keep eyes on you. That's why they took out Sibisi and they brought in a player like Siema, because they are young, they are able to run, and they'll be able to keep up with Ndondo, because this Marumo Gallants side is a side that has key players in every moment of the game. In defense, you see Abo Chabata, Kosana, they are able to be there with Arubi. And when it comes to transitions, Abo Msendami or Tadisa, Abo Mabuza, they are able to transition from defense to attack, and that's what we are excited about in today's encounter.
As well as experience, Sia and Klapo as well. We can't take away from his experience, as well as cup-winning pedigree with Bidbisvids. But you look at this side, and we've seen the pictures of Mbokazi, and I can't help but think that this could be, I know it was well documented throughout the week, but this could be the last game for Orlando Pirates. Would he want to walk away, lifting another cup, and then sail on to the Americas?
Again, this is a young man who has basically passed every single test that's been thrown at him. This all in about 18 months.
Absolutely. I mean, I remember when he had to go and play CAF Champions League, he only played 2 games in the PSL and then went to play Champions League. That just shows you how much belief Orlando Pirates has in the youngsters that they are culminating and coming through. Abonkota, Abondaba, Abondlozi, all of those youngsters are coming through in an environment that allows them to even flourish and go overseas. Pirates already this season has taken 2 of their key players. They are leaving, and yet they don't really feel it that much because of the other players that are left in the team that are able to compete and do so well. So this is the healthy competition competition we are talking about when we look at this institution called Orlando Pirates, and they've been dominating not only on stats but on the field as well. You look at them, you are like, sheesh. What am I going to do when they change the players? Whether the coach is there or not there, it's so solid. And that's what makes it even more interesting for Marumo Gallants to say, they are well-oiled machine. We are going to come in, we are mechanics. Let's see which screws do we untie there.
Sure, what a wonderful final we have in store ahead of us. All we're trying to do is explore each and every storyline that will inform who exactly we feel is going to be walking away with the title for 2025. Another short break. When we come back, we get closer to hearing from the coaches, as well as for the first time this afternoon, having a look at those starting lineups. Don't go away.
December just got a whole lot more festive on SuperSport. The Investec Champions Cup serves up a feast of hard hits.
He takes so much stopping this fella. Big hit.
F1 blazes into Abu Dhabi for the season finale.
Norris wins the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix.
Vodacom URC sparks back into action with a rugby cracker.
It's absolutely scintillating.
The Africa Cup of Nations lights up Morocco.
Oh, what a start to the Cup of Nations.
And it's a celebration of sunshine, sixes and superstars as the Betway SA20 explodes into life. It's your ultimate holiday lineup, only on your World of Champions.
The 2025 Nedbank Golf Challenge, live on SuperSport.
What is a stinger? It's not an easy shot to hit, but it's a fun shot to hit.
The all-South African team, Stinger GC.
That's why we've got the green, that's why we've got the gold.
It's in my blood, it's in all of our blood.
You're not just playing for me, I'm playing for my family, I'm playing for their family.
And then life throws you a curveball. You need to keep fighting all the way to the end.
What a great putt. This season comes down to this. Oh, wow!
Pretoria Capitals are still in there fighting. Unbelievable.
When Pretoria moves, the whole capital shakes. Every ball, every roar, every blue shirt in the stands, the city comes alive. This isn't just cricket. This is power. This is Pretoria. 4 seasons, bigger hits, louder nights, and a roar you will feel in your chest.
Don't just watch it. Be a part of it.
More minutes before the 41st League Cup final in South African football gets underway. The old, or the new Peter Mokaba Stadium rather, is the battleground as Orlando Pirates, well versed in winning cup football in South Africa, are up against Marumo Gallants. What do they have in store is the big question that we have been asking as we get closer and closer to kickoff. So then, we are getting closer to also hearing from the two coaches. Tato Moeng is in conversation here she'll be having a conversation with the coach Abdeslam Ouaddou and Alexandra Lafitte in a short bit. When we get there, we'll be hearing exactly what they do have in store. So we've already had a look at those starting lineups, and there's one or two interesting decisions that the two coaching staffs have made. Let's start with the Orlando Pirates. What have you picked up?
3 changes. Makaula comes in. Coach mentioned that this is his first game in the cup match. Like we mentioned earlier, it's like for like. But the 3 in midfield will mean that Nemtajela will play in a bit more attacking role. I like that. Apollos is starting, no Moremi. And that is exactly what we discussed in the build-up, is that we never know what is Abdeslam going to be up to. And it's like for like. Apollos starts this time. He's effective when he comes off the bench, or he starts. Makaula will bring a lot of solidity to that. And we'll just have to see what is their approach going to be.
Very quickly, your thoughts on what Marumo Gallants have decided to go with?
You look at the changes that they've made. All the players that are in there, it's players that have played in the culling knockouts. Undabaiteta comes in and he goes back there. Arubi comes back. He was rested a bit. Mhlongo played in the previous match. He comes back. He's fresh, and he's one that has made so many saves when it comes to how Marumo Gallants has featured in them. Otladisa is able to start as Tole comes back in them, which is good.
Certainly is good. So then the coaches are ready. They're ready to share with us exactly why they've decided to go with the changes that they've made and exactly what their ambitions are ahead of kickoff. Here they are speaking to Tata Moeng.
Today, a big occasion, Orlando Pirates in the Carling knockout final. You take on your former team. And this is about the moment. It's about the occasion. How's the team feeling today ahead of the final?
Yes, indeed. Fantastic moment for us, fantastic moment for our fans. When we see such fans coming to support us, of course, there is a very big excitement. And we are ready to start that game and to give everything in order to bring them the happiness and to bring them this trophy that they are looking for a long time.
And looking at your team today, you've made some changes. Big talking point has been in Mbokazi. How is the team feeling today ahead of the final?
I feel them very good, to be honest, since the beginning of the week. A lot of players were very focused, motivated, excited to play that final. Good training, good mood. So I hope they will show it on the pitch today. But most of them are willing really to make a great game, especially for our fans, and to give them a gift, a Christmas gift. But it will not be easy because, like you said, we are playing against a good side. I know because I was a coach there. I know what I led there. We build a very strong character, so it will not be easy. It will be a very, very tactical game.
And other than the tactics, coach, you want to end 2025 on a high note. What can you say to the fans and the players?
No, what we can promise to the fans is that we are going to give everything for that game. We know that for them it's a very important trophy, and they're expecting that for a long time, and we will give everything for them today.
Good luck, coach.
Thank you.
That is Coach Abdeslam Ouaddou. For the very first time since 2018, a Orlando Pirates coach has brought them to the League Cup final. Back then it was Militon Stradojevic. This time it is Abdeslam Ouaddou. And we've already touched on the number of changes. What interests me here, coach, is that young centre-back pairing has been reunited. On their left, though, is Ndaba and not Hoto.
Why did you stop at young centre-backs? Ndaba also is another young player that's in there. Libito is probably the only old croc in that centre-back, in that defence. But the changes that they bring in, Siema is fast and it will complement as much as they can, which means Libito and Ndaba, when they push up, they are able to have cover. And you see it with the other changes that are in there. Makaula comes in so that they form a box of 4, the 2 centre-backs and the 2 defensive midfielders. These are 2 coaches that tactically they'll be able to test each other. That's why we say, Coach Ouaddou say that it's going to be a tactical and a strong game because of the 2 coaches that understand tactics, the timing of the subs. Both coaches, they like making their subs. around the 68th minute and all of that, and they're bringing like for like, either to effect or affect the change to favor them in getting positive results.
When I look at this starting lineup, I just have to look at Mhlongo and his resurgence. We can see almost back to his best, and it's so important for national selection as well in the bigger picture. But we can see Mhlongo has been operating a bit more centrally, and I think he's so much more effective, and that is going to give license to Lebitso to be higher up the field, and that is exactly why and how he's got the best out of Mhlongo, because when Mhlongo is out wide and he tugs the line, it's easier to defend him. You can double up, you can force him to the one side, but what he does is he'll be a bit more inside, and Mtajela will join him, and they could play as 2 10s as well, and that's going to be very effective for Orlando Pirates.
A very dangerous Orlando Pirates, but if you ask Coach Alexander Lafitte, he's already had some joy against the Buccaneers this season. Can he do it again? Tata Moeng asked that question.
A big occasion today, playing Orlando Pirates in the Carling knockout final. How's the team feeling? How are you feeling, Coach Lafitte? Good afternoon.
Yeah, you are feeling very good. We are concentrate. Honestly, it's a very good moment for the team. All players, all members in the club are excited for the final, and now we are ready to win the cup.
And when it comes to the Carling knockout, you've already beat Sundowns, you've beat Stellenbosch, you've beat Golden Arrows. Today you take on a very strong Orlando Pirates. How are you going to do that today tactically and the plans that you've made?
Yes, it's important to have the same attitude for the last game in cup, notably when you lose the ball, to be together, close inside. And after, when you have the ball, it's important to play our football. It's very important, notably to use the ball in opposite, because the Pirates like to press with a lot of intensity. It's for that important to have relax when you have the ball, and when it is possible to attack deep, attack deep.
And finally, Coach, you're also playing in a final. You want your team to win. How important is it for Marumo Gallants and yourself to honor the occasion of playing a cup final?
Yes, it's a fantastic opportunity, and it's very important for the club and for the team. We know when step by step, when the club improves, it is the moment very important for the club. And for that, we are ready and concentrate. We know it's not an easy game, it's not simple, but we know how it's possible to win trophy.
Have a good game today, Coach, and good luck in the Carling knockout final.
Thank you very much.
This is Marumo Gallants then, and the 11 they're going to be putting out onto the pitch today. The return of Washington Arubi, we've already touched on just how important he's going to be to the cause for Marumo Gallants. There is a spine. There is also some new faces who have come into the side with good effect.
Yeah, Arubi is a big talking point for us because he's played all the matches and he's had really great joy in being that wall of Free State, if I may put it there. And you look at Shabatana, he comes back to solidify that defense there. The biggest talking point also for me is the combination of Stoll and Tlapo and Barnes there. Barnes is really a good one that coach brought in from Ivory Coast. He's actually from Burkina Faso, and he comes in, he stabilizes that midfield where Pambaniso can come in as a sub now and then, and that's what gives this midfield of Marumo Gallants a confidence and strength.
If I look at that starting lineup, and you mentioned Barnes, I want to chat a bit about him because it's a number 6, a very clever number 6, left-footed. Starts play very nicely, strong in the tackle, and alongside the experience of Nklapo is very much the strength of the side, together with the defense in Agakwe as well as Skosana. So it's two players that has come in that work with Lafitte at Stade Abidjan. So they understand how he works, they know what he wants. So for them to adapt was very, very quick, and this is where the strength of this Marumo Gallants lie, is that midfield two of Nklapo as well as Barnes.
Yeah, you would have seen that record for Coach Alexander Lafitte. More often than not, they don't lose, Marumo Gallants, and as we've already mentioned, they score most of their goals in that second half. It just talks about the staying power that they have. And Tato Pumudzo, is it that staying power then that makes this Marumo Gallants dangerous for Orlando Pirates?
Well, Lwazi, I think today the biggest talking point has been the unpredictability of Marumo Gallants, but also the likes of Orlando Pirates wanting to be a team to perhaps do the first double-double double-double. That is the word, right? They could, of course, win one cup competition and another one, repeating what they did in the 2010-2011 season. But when we look at the starting lineups of Orlando Pirates and, of course, Marumo Gallants, what are the big talking points there then, Pumudzo, after listening to what Stiga and Simpiwe had said?
You have to look at the double-double that you're speaking about. Orlando Pirates won the MTN and the Telkom Cup. Kaizer Chiefs have done the same, and also Platinum Stars have done the same. It's an opportunity for Orlando Pirates to do a double in terms of the double that Tato is speaking about. Now you have to go to the tactics and the trends. What are these two teams going to do? You have to look at this Marumo Gallants team and think that they are going to play a 4-2-3-1 with a false 9. Donto will be given that ability and the freedom to drop into that midfield to create the extra man in that midfield. Already 4 goals in all competition. That becomes very key for Donto. But on the other side of Orlando Pirates, that's where you see them playing a 4-3-3. No out-and-out 10 for Orlando Pirates this evening. You're looking at Makaula sitting as the 6. You're looking at double 8 where Masindi and also Mbata will be the double 8. The key will be the creativity of Orlando Pirates. Where's the creative spark going to come from? That is the question. But when you look at that creative spark, you have to look at Rile Mofokeng with the 3 assists that he has. On the other side, you have to look at Apolis with the 4 goals and the 6 assists. Mahopa has to get the goals. He's the point of reference. You're looking at a 4-2-3-1 with a false 9, a 4-3-3 with an out-and-out number 9 of Orlando Pirates.
But for Marumo Gallants, I mean, it becomes so important for them. We've mentioned the fact that they've disposed of so many big teams. Today they play Orlando Pirates. We speak about playing the occasion at the Cup final. Who's really going to be the salt of the earth when it comes to Marumo Gallants? Who's going to be the difference, especially because we speak about Ndondo, how many matches, the man of the match accolades he's gotten in the Carling this season. But who's really going to be the key that unlocks Batabandaband?
When you're looking at the key has to be at the back. Washington Arubi only has 2 clean sheets in all competition. If he gets a clean sheet, that's where the advantage starts for Marumo Gallants. Because if he gets a clean sheet, he's a penalty specialist. So it's important for him to play well in today's game. But not only him, you're looking at Skosana at the back, where's the track, Mahopa. I'm looking forward to that battle of Skosana, Mahopa. And when you go to that midfield for Marumo Gallants, Sitole becomes very important. He's a creative spark. He's the educated left foot to be able to find the short and the long pass. But up top, we speak about Ndondo. But not only in Ndondo, there's the pace of Utladisa. Uba Pirates. No Dalagagwa. Why put this or why Rekitamai? I can't understand.
I love the duality that you also do have between Marumo Gallants and Orlando Pirates. But one thing that also sticks out is that World Cup qualifier between Zimbabwe and Bafana Bafana. Orlando Pirates has so many players in Bafana Bafana. Washington Arubi was the difference when they did not even need to go through to the next round. So that already shows that big match temperament he has.
Big match temperament he has, obviously. You're looking at a Zimbabwean international, a man with a lot of experience. 40 years the man is. And when you're looking at his leadership qualities, his ability to come out and dominate the penalty area would be key. His communication in this crowd will be key because he has to remind the players of the tactics and the plan of the coach. So he becomes very important. Not only him, Banse in that midfield, educated left foot, is that number 6 that is elegant. He's a number 6 that you're not going to see making a lot of tackles, but he initiates play very well.
All I know is that the likes of Pumuzo Manente, the bold and the beautiful, this is his home province. He's already had Masonja. He's already gone through and visited Kopembe district. And that's why I had a chat with the Premier of Limpopo to find out the importance of this cup final here. The honor today was standing with Premier of Limpopo, Kimmepo Piramatuba, right here in Mopolokwani, the home, the rich home of so many football teams. But today, Premier, a sold-out affair. People have come from Bloemfontein, Durban, Kiriliko, Zimbabwe. They're here to enjoy this Carling knockout final. This must mean a lot for you as Premier of this province.
Of course, there are no words that can express how we feel as the people of Limpopo, but also at the same time, it confirms that when we say people around Limpopo, even within South Africa, they love soccer. And people just love Limpopo as a province. And they were asking and wondering the questions that I kept on asking PSL every day. Why are we not having a cup final since 9 years ago? Now that we are here as a 7th administration, supporting our municipalities, can we be given an opportunity to host a cup final? So what does it mean? It means even future cup finals must be brought to Limpopo.
And you know the beauty about having a cup final here in Limpopo and having such a big occasion? The hotels are fully booked. The roads coming into Limpopo have just been colored with football fans. And after that, the fans get to enjoy the beautiful province. That becomes a good cash injection for the province.
No, like we were saying, the economic spin-off. I was talking to also the CEO of tourism the other day, who was very much excited to say, look, you might not see until such time statisticians will do some number punching. But the reality of the matter is that Bonya Mukamadi, who sells popcorn, today she's busy. She has been here since 3 o'clock selling popcorn. And all these fans, none of them enter without buying something. What does it mean? She's going to put a plate of food for her children to can be able to have a meal. All our SMMEs and all our hawkers for this Christmas, you know that by bringing this final cup here, they are going to have a better Christmas for their children. So we are really excited. And like we are saying, our Airbnb, our hotels, they are all fully booked, and our garages are busy. You know, and those people must understand that these are institutions and facilities that are employing our own people, who, the more you get customers, the more you preserve their jobs. Even B&Bs that were about to close because business was not doing well. But this weekend, we'll make sure that indeed business continue to flourish within the province.
Premier, you're so right already. And I enjoy Limpopo, a province that today, after a 9-year wait, brings us this massive final. Thank you so much, Premier, for your time.
Thank you very much. But we are also calling upon those who thought they will drive back. Please don't leave tonight. Stay in the province, enjoy. We also have got Likompo Music Festival throughout the night after the soccer game. Let's go there. But equally, come and spend your weekends with your families, with your friends, Christmas holidays. We've got Mapungubye. We've got so many areas that you can really enjoy. It is only in Limpopo where we don't talk of Big Five. We talk of Big Six.
Ah, the Big Six, including Lekompo, right here in Limpopo. Well, I have traveled with the Tourism Minister of Limpopo, that is Pumuto Manenze. Pumuto, quick prediction, what are we getting today? Who's winning the Carling Knockout Final?
I'm looking at 4 goals being scored today. Sipo Chain has got 14 clean sheets. He's not going to keep a clean sheet today. But I'm looking at this game, Orlando Pirates winning this one by 3 goals to 1.
3 goals to 1. Let us know if you agree with him. Pumuto has said Pirates winning this final. Lwazi, it is a big one. What does your panel say? Who's taking the Carling Knockout title?
Yeah, indeed, Tato, that is the big question. So then let's hear from them, starting with you, Stanton Fredericks.
I am certainly not as bold as Pumuto. So I think it's going to be a close one. And I think it's going to go to extra time. I'm going to give it to Orlando Pirates in extra time.
Very quickly, Cynthia.
Why are you taking my pointers? 1-1 to extra time, and Pirates takes it there. They have cup pedigree.
There it is. You've heard from all our analysts as we get closer to kickoff. For those who are watching across South Africa, this is your commentary team for this afternoon. You've got Kevin Evans, who's alongside Tiko Modise in English commentary, Arnold Rankoko ka Sesotho, as well as Ubeli Kumalo ngeSizulu. They are all here on duty to watch as these two sides look to go from finalists to champions in the CKO. A short breather on the other side of it. We've got some entertainment headlined by the one and only Makadzi, and then it's time for these two sides to knock each other out.
December just got a whole lot more festive on SuperSport. The Investec Champions Cup serves up a feast of hard hits.
He takes so much stopping this fella. Big hit.
F1 blazes into Abu Dhabi for the season finale.
Norris wins the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix.
Vodacom URC sparks back into action with a rugby cracker.
It's absolutely scintillating.
The Africa Cup of Nations lights up Morocco.
Oh, what a start to the Cup of Nations.
And it's a celebration of sunshine, sixes and superstars as the Betway SA20 explodes into life. It's your ultimate holiday lineup, only on your World of Champions.
You've got to watch this.
Forward attack, going football, huge appeal.
Been a well-played game from Williams.
Michael Schumacher. He's right for the taking.
Have you seen anything like welcome to your World of Champions?
Skotlolo, see everywhere.
The biggest show on earth has finally arrived on South African soil. Shabalala! Goal! Bafana! Goal for Africa! Champions of the world!
You've got to watch this.
And South Africa make history. The raw emotion, the jubilation takes over. Years in the waiting. Pretoria Capitals are still in there fighting. Unbelievable.
When Pretoria moves, the whole capital shakes. Every ball, every roar, every blue shirt in the stands, the Silicon's alive. This isn't just cricket. This is power. This is Pretoria. 4 seasons, bigger hits, louder nights, and a roar you will feel in your chest.
Don't just watch it. Be a part of it.
The 2025 Nedbank Golf Challenge, live on SuperSport.
This is going to be close. Here we go. History about to be made. Whoa! There he goes. Here's the wraparound. Joey Sparky. Here comes the gate drive. Short and hard. What a great night of racing. A new era for the World Supercross Championship. What a night. Unbelievable.
Closer and closer we are getting to kickoff then at the Peter Mokaba Stadium, and as we've mentioned already, it is going to be football bonanza once we do get kickoff. Prior to that though, we do have Makati who will be performing in a short while. This is her home. This is where she absolutely is adored by all these fans that you are seeing. They have steadily throughout the course of the afternoon filled every single seat here at the Peter Mokaba Stadium. No need to remind you that it's sold out yet again. No need to remind you that for one of these two sides in Orlando Pirates and Marumo Gallants, the day will end with them celebrating as Carling knockout champions. Orlando Pirates coming into this one having already won a cup this season, having gone top of the Betway Premiership standings, and they are looking to turn that into yet another cup title by the time that we end December. For Marumo Gallants, they were semi-finalists in this competition just last season. They have since graduated to finalists, and they would love to turn that into a remarkable feat for this football club, a very first cup title in South African football. However, all this is just me speaking, all this is me speculating. It's down to the two sides to get the business done on the pitch once the first whistle has been blown. Before that then, a reminder, we have award-winning Makadzi right here at the Peter Mokaba Stadium.
Just number 9, Yana Nambutuma. Just number 7, John Hoto. And just number 5, Bosnati Smith.
Let's go!
Na hiri usazi wanu, niriri pikoko, bogacha wangu, kipikoko, kiramu sari wangu, lena kipikoko. Piko, 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 piko.
So. Oh! 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 Limpopo! Thank you so much, guys. I'm from Odessa. Don't forget to come to my one-woman show. You're from Odessa.
Just. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, a round of an applause for the magical Mokaba.
The Carling Knockout has provided a number of surprises over the years, and today might be just one of those days. Good afternoon and welcome to the new Peter Mokaba Stadium. We are in Polokwane today. The Carling Knockout final. It's Orlando Pirates against Marumo Gallants. It is Abdusalam Wadu.
I love trying to go faster. I love the tech behind down racing.
Brought to you by Toyota. Lead the way. The 2025 Nedbank Golf Challenge, live on SuperSport.
It's going to be close. Here we go. History about to be made. Whoa! There he goes. Here's the wraparound. Joey Sparky. Here comes the gate drop. Sharp and hard. What a great night of racing. A new era for the World Supercross Championship. What a night. Unbelievable.
Another beautiful day at the cricket.
Yeah, they're getting very festive in the crowd now, Cooks. Look at them cheering on this run chase.
Wait. What are they cheering? Oh, yes, a drinks run.
Oh, we have a million head, Cooks. Look at the focus, the concentration.
Waiting. He's got to make it.